Welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about 5 tips to help you progress faster inside Raid Shadow Legends. Now, we've done some of these kind of massive 50+ tip videos. I'll link one of those in the description below, where we go through every area of the game and kind of dissect the best practices and strategies to use. In today's video, it's going to be kind of the 30,000 foot view, right? Let me turn something on the background for you guys. 30,000 foot view, the macro tips, things to keep in the back of your mind, whether again you're a new player, a seasoned veteran, or maybe even a returning player coming to the game. So I'll kick it off with one that we've actually talked about quite a bit on the channel. The rest won't be so redundant if you're a returning viewer. But this is the 3 Vs, because honestly, guys, diverse or spreading your resources and your attention too thin is the #1 mistake that people make inside this game, in my opinion, okay? Besides the obvious stuff like using legendary skill tomes on epic champions or rare champions, even worse. Besides that obvious stuff, it's just resource management inside the game. So you want to focus at first on one champion, then on a team, 5 champions, and then you shouldn't be, focusing on that many champions at the same time, right? You want to really make sure you set your priorities, and we'll talk a little bit about that as this video progresses. But what are the 3 Vs? They're the 3 factors you should consider when investing in a champion. So their end game viability, their versatility, meaning how many areas are you going to be using that champion inside your account inside the game, and of course their value over replacement. So are they good in the end game? Are they better than the replacement champion? If so, are they incrementally better? How much better are they, right? And then of course their overall versatility in the game. Those are the factors you should be considering before you make the decision to spend your hard-earned resources on any champion inside this game. I'm stuck on the unkillable here. All right, so tip #2 is going to be, don't be an artifact hoarder. What does that mean? Don't be an artifact hoarder. That's a weird tip there, Ash. Well, basically, guys, I see some accounts that are holding on to a bunch of crap artifacts. There's no reason to do that, right? And furthermore, you need to always be doing 2 things inside this game when it comes to artifacts. Thing #1 is raising your standards. Not every day, not every week, but from time to time, every month or 2, you should take a look at all your artifacts and raise your standards. Sell some old ones off, and again, make room for some new ones. Now, if you're a brand new player, of course, we can fit 700 artifacts plus the ones already on our champions on our account. So yeah, I mean, you don't need to sell all your artifacts. But mid-game players, and especially end-game players, you ought to always be going through your artifacts and recycle.
I've had enough. Yeah, that's all I really need. It gave me everything I could want.
And recycling the ones that you don't use anymore, meaning you hand it down to another champion who you use less frequently, or you just sell it. In the beginning of the game, you might be keeping all of your 4-star artifacts. In the middle of the game, you might be selling your 4-star artifacts. At the end of the game, you might be selling your 5-star artifacts. So it's important that we make room and always upgrade. The last note, because I said there were kind of 2 important points about artifacts inside this game. The other one is I see some accounts where they have their best artifacts on their entire account spread way too thin. They have it spread amongst like 40, 50 champions, right? Listen, same with the point #1, the tip #1, right? The 4 Vs, the 3 Vs, or whatever the heck I call it, whatever stupid thing I call these tips. You should be using your best artifacts on the champions you use on the most teams, right? Usually that's your best champions. Not always the case, but make sure you're using your artifacts, and constantly reevaluating your artifacts to make sure, hey, I pulled this amazing artifact, or I got this amazing artifact, I forged this amazing artifact. Forge, a great place for artifact forging. Forging. Make sure you're using those artifacts to upgrade on the champions you use the most, and then use the artifacts they have on as hand-me-downs. Obviously, don't sell them. Put it on, your 2nd most used champion, your 3rd most used champion, whatever the case may be. So that's tip #2. Tip #3 is set small goals, right? If you don't know what to focus on, or you're spreading your focus in way too many areas inside this game, set small goals. This is actually a life tip for you guys, right? We're getting some life tips here with Ash. You're welcome. You're welcome. But seriously, you want to lose weight in life? Well, maybe floss 2 times a day. And I'm saying that in all sincerity. Starting little, small, positive habits in life and in Raid Shadow Legends will help snowball into bigger and better things for you. So even setting a schedule in my day-to-day helps me a lot stay on task, and in turn, it helps me be more productive, helps me make time for other stuff, etc., etc. Now, obviously, we know that Raid Shadow Legends is kind of a full-time job, right? If you're going to do everything every day. So that's why, again, set small goals, and that will help you focus your attention on what to do next, okay? You know, again, resources are very finite in this game, so maybe your goal could be upgrading or 6-starring a few champions. Maybe your goal could be, hey, I want to clear this level 20 dungeon. Maybe your goal could be, I want to hit Platinum Arena. Now, whatever goal you may set, again, small stuff, short-term goals, things that you're vying after, things that you're trying to do in the game. After you set those goals, well, then you'll be able to kind of narrow in your focus on that specific area, and you won't have to, you know, feel the pressure to do everything all at the same time, because let's face it, there's a lot to do inside this game. All right, tip number 4 is set a realistic time commitment and then base your daily priority off of that. So I see a lot of players burn out in this game, right? There's a lot, like we said 10 times now, there's a lot to do in Raid Shadow Legends. There's Doom Tower, Faction Wars, Arena, Great Hall Farming, Tag Team, Arena, missions and quests, and everything else, right? Clan Boss. There's so many different things you can do inside this game. And there's really not a lot of time to do it all, especially with our busy schedules, you know, friends, family, work, everything that we do in our day-to-day lives, right? So what you should do is, what I would recommend is, and again, we're stuck with the unkillable. I hate high elves. I hate high elves. So what I do, guys, is instead of making Raid my full-time job, I set priorities. My priorities, and it's going to change from each individual, but, you know, I think this is smart for my account, at least. Smart for me. So I'm doing Faction Wars every day, right? I love glyphs. I think everybody should do Faction Wars every day, even if you can only clear stage 1 of a faction crypt, right? Even that 1-star glyph is going to help you out. It's going to be a decent addition when you add them all up on all of your substats, on all of your artifacts, okay? So I'm doing Faction Wars. I'm doing Clan Boss, and then I'm doing Doom Tower. Then I have tag team battles. Then I have arena battles, and then I have my auto attack battles. Then I have arena battles, and then I work on building new champions and mission progress, stuff like that, right? So that's my daily priority list. Make sure you set one yourself. You should know that, hey, I might not be able to play a raid today, or I can only log in to get my daily login reward, and that's about it. Maybe I only have 10, 15 minutes on top of that. Well, make sure you have that priority list. That way, again, with your realistic time commitment and your priority list, you should know exactly what you're going to be doing every day, and that will help you not miss days as well, right? So definitely go ahead and consider that. Let's go ahead and switch to Demon Spawn Crypt here and do some farming here as well. So anything else there? Again, don't spend, I mean, do what you want. It's your time, it's your life, it's your account. Do what you want. But I will say that if you're going super hard playing this game for, gosh, I know some people play this game for a ton of time. Let me know in the comments. How long do you play Raid on a daily basis? If you're a new player, how long do you intend to play a Raid on a daily basis? Me personally, I think that when you add it all up, I'm putting in 40 hours a week. It's a full-time job for me, but of course, I'm not always active there on my device. Auto battles and stuff like that, Clan Boss, I put my device aside. I'm not really looking at the game all the time. But with all that said, guys, try not to go burnout mode, where you're spending, you know, an unhealthy amount of time on Raid Shadow Legends every day. It's, you know, everybody's different, but at the end of the day, for me at least, that would burn me out, and it would make me, you know, slowly but surely kind of disgusted in the game, and recognize how much it's pulling me away from my loved ones and things that I really care about outside of a video game in my life. So definitely don't burn out, right? That's part of tip 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
Tip number 5 is use outside resources to help you. Well, you're already watching this YouTube video. Welcome, my name is Ash. Hope you enjoy the channel so far. Hope you enjoyed the video. But seriously, there's a lot of great resources out there, and I'm not talking about my YouTube channel. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there. There's plenty of amazing content creators, and there's a lot of great streamers as well in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, I don't stream right now, but I gotta give a shout out to all the streamers out there, because if you have a question you want to learn, one of the best ways to do it is check out a Raid Shadow Legends streamer. There's a ton of them. I'll list a bunch if I can in the comments below, but either way, you can just go on Twitch and search Raid Shadow Legends and it will all be there for you guys. That's a great place to ask questions and just observe what the streamer is saying and what the other people in the chat are saying, right? But the biggest resource for you guys is definitely going to be deadwoodjedi.com, right? For Clan Boss. Best Clan Boss website out there is deadwoodjedi.com, guys. It is so good. All of the teams you need, all of the speed tuning, everything you need for every composition known to man is at deadwoodjedi.com. Really, really good to bookmark that. Also, I have to give a big shout out to hellhades.com and ayumilove.com. Now, both of those websites are absolutely fantastic. And why? Why are they so good? Not only will they give you mastery suggestions, talk a little bit about the strategy that goes behind any champion you want to invest in, but in Raid Shadow Legends, guys, if you look at, say, a nuker, an attack-based champion, there's no way to know how much damage they're really going to do. New players oftentimes will look at their base attack and just think that's how hard they hit. That's sadly not the case. Damage multipliers really dictate how hard they hit, whereas that attack number that you see, that's how well the attack scales. It's easier to scale up that number with percentage-based stats, percentage-based gear, in order to, get more value out of the multipliers, if that makes sense. So before I invest in any nuker, I want to check out the multipliers. I'm going to go on ayumilove or hellhades.com and go ahead and check out those multipliers so I know what I'm getting into, right? So definitely check out those resources. Hellhades has an artifact optimizer. So much good stuff on hellhades.com as well. Highly, highly recommend it for you guys. So a lot of good resources. Another one I'll call out is Ash Voyager spreadsheet. Everything I mentioned will be in the show notes below, guys. But Ash Voyager has all of the damage multipliers of all the champions. He's really quick on all the new champions they add to the game, and he has their a kind of a metric called overall damage output on 4 or 5 different mobs that you're attacking, right? So you can actually kind of aggregate all the champion skills and find out what their overall damage potential might be, and some of them might really surprise you guys. So a lot of great resources out there. Even the subreddit for Raid Shadow Legends, you'll find some good strategy posts and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to just, Google search if you don't want to remember all of these websites, champions that you want to invest in, and just double check. Maybe you're missing something. Maybe there's a build for a certain champion that you never even considered. So guys, that's what I have for you guys in terms of 5 tips to help you progress faster inside Raid Shadow Legends. What is your favorite tip that I left out of my list? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.